Ladies and gentlemen, right now, President Trump is finalizing the details of a plan to give every single American a $5,000 tax refund. And I'll tell you what, this plan has the Democrats absolutely losing their minds. So you see, right now, this tax refund is being called the Doge dividend, and the way it works is actually revolutionary. Now, as I'm sure many of you know, right now the Department of Government Efficiency is hacking and slashing all of the fraud and waste out of our federal budget. In fact, as things stand right now, the DOGE has been able to cut out over $55 billion worth of waste so far, with the ultimate goal of cutting out $2 trillion by 2026. And so now, here's what the Doge dividend proposal actually looks like. For every dollar cut by the Department of Government Efficiency, every American would get 20% of that back in the form of a tax refund. So what that means is that if you do the math on all of that, like I said earlier, we're talking about a $5,000 tax refund for every single tax-paying American. Now, the Doge dividend proposal document actually gives some extra insight and clarity into why President Trump is pursuing this at all. You see, 4 big reasons are given for the Doge tax refund. Benefit 1, it will serve to right the wrongs that were done to the American taxpayer. Benefit 2, it will share the benefits of cost cutting with the American taxpayer. Benefit 3, it will boost tax morale. And benefit 4, it will incentivize 2025 labor force participation. And then, to top all of that off, because this tax refund is driven by budget-cutting measures and not being financed, it won't even be inflationary. So folks, I don't know about you guys, but to me, this sounds like a pretty good idea. Now, that being said, not everyone is happy about this because, as you can imagine, the folks over at CNN are actively doing everything they can to undermine all of this. But before we move on and take a look at that, I want to say real quick, if you guys enjoyed the daily news coverage, please consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help a ton with my daily struggle against the YouTube algorithm. But okay, take a look at how Stephen Miller, Trump's political advisor, absolutely destroys CNN's entire narrative about all of this.
The American people are exhausted and tired of watching their tax dollars be corruptly spent, abused, wasted, and in every sense robbed and stolen from them. This president, for the first time in history, is committed to restoring accountability at every level of the federal government. You may assert there's no waste in the Pentagon. You may assert there's no waste in
Stephen,
Treasury.
I'm not
you may
asserting,
assert there's no waste in HHS.
Stephen, I don't think anyone...
Then why are you not celebrating these cuts? If you agree there is waste, if you agree there is abuse, if you agree there is corruption, why are you not celebrating the cuts, the reforms that are being instituted? Every day that no action is taken, the entire salaries of American workers that are taxed disappear forever.
Stephen, let's calm down.
This is
we're not having a debate.
There's no reason
about whether there are places...
You are clearly trying to debate me, and I will be as excited as I want to be about the fact that we are saving Americans billions of dollars, that we are ending the theft and waste and grift and corruption, that we are stopping American taxpayer dollars from subsidizing a rogue federal bureaucracy that has been relentlessly weaponized against the American people.
Okay,
you
Stephen,
may not care about
I'm
this
not
issue.
Talking about
your colleagues may not
there's
care about this issue. But we care about this issue. The American people care about this issue.
They also care about privacy.
And the American
so
public overwhelmingly supports what President Trump is doing.
Folks, you know what I absolutely love about that video? It really displays that making America great again is no longer up for debate. We all voted to give President Trump a mandate to fix this country, and guess what? That is exactly what is happening. And so really, what's sad when you think about it is that despite the vast majority of this country actually supporting everything that President Trump is doing right now, still, the corrupt legacy media is trying to push their progressive agenda. In fact, you know what? Elon Musk made a great point about all of this just last night. Take a look.
When these attacks occur, the thing that they're accusing the administration of is what they are guilty of. They're saying that things are being done unconstitutional, but what they are doing is unconstitutional. They are guilty of the crime of which they accuse us.
That's always the first thing they do.
Yeah.
He's in violation of the Constitution. They don't even know what they're talking. Well,
it's absurd.
Know. It's just a con job. It's a big con job. And they're so bad for the country, so dangerous and so bad. And the media is so bad. When I watch MSNBC, which I don't watch much, but you have to watch the enemy on occasion, the level of arrogance and cheating, and they're just horrible people.
Yeah, and everyone in America knows that they're textbook definition hypocrites too, and people are just sick of it. So no wonder their ratings are in the toilet. But hey, you know whose ratings aren't in the toilet right now? Take a look at this.
Donald Trump and the Republican Party has changed the electorate. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look at party identification, Democrats versus Republicans. You go back to 2017, 5 points more of the electorate was Democrats than Republicans. You go to 2021 when Joe Biden was starting out, look at that. 6 points more of the electorate was Democrats than Republicans. But look at what's happened in February of 2025. Look at this. Republicans, there are more Republicans in the electorate than there are Democrats. Republican +2. So Donald Trump and the Republicans have remade the electorate. They've turned some people over from being Democrats or independents to become Republicans. New folks have entered the electorate who are more Republican leaning. And so when you combine that with the fact that Republicans are really, really behind Donald Trump, all of a sudden you get a winning recipe whereby you break the normal rules of politics and give Donald Trump that positive net approval rating when he had pretty much a consistently negative one in term number one. As I said at the beginning, he's copying Frank Sinatra, doing it my way.
Wow. So what's the takeaway of all of that? It means that President Trump not only has rebuilt the Republican Party, but also he's rebuilding America. And hey, here's the reality. Democrats have yet to come to terms with this reality, but guess what? Americans are absolutely loving Trump's agenda. Border security is popular. Mass deportations are popular. Focusing domestically here in America as opposed to globally elsewhere in the world is popular. Cutting out government waste is popular. And guess what? $5,000 tax refunds are also pretty popular. And so, hey, this is the reason why President Trump won every single swing state and was the first Republican to win the popular vote in 20 years and was able to shift all 50 states to the right in the 2024 election and now has the highest approval ratings of all time. Because people love what President Trump is doing and they're sick of all the manipulation coming from the left. In fact, take a look at what Chuck Schumer had to say about all of this just earlier this morning.
Of course there's some wasteful spending, but you don't use a meat axe and cut everything. We need to look at each program. We need to go through Congress and see what's wasteful and move to eliminate it, and what's very not wasteful but very much needed.
So folks, that is a perfect example of the manipulation and lies from the left that people are just sick of. Because he's pushing this blatantly false narrative that Trump is just going around indiscriminately cutting things from the federal budget and that Trump should instead work with Congress to get rid of all the waste. And it's like, hey, newsflash, Congress pretty much created all of the waste. Also, hey, how long has Chuck Schumer been in Congress? Over 40 years, that's right. How much waste has he cut? 0. And so, hey, I really do hope that the Department of Government Efficiency is able to keep on rooting out all of the fraud and all of the waste from inside of the federal government and that they can actually give some of that money back to the people. Because, hey, let's face it, that money is better off in your pocket than in the pocket of some corrupt Washington, D.C. swamp beast. And as we all now know, that is exactly what was happening. But folks, I think that's going to be a wrap for this one, so please go down below in the comments and let me know what you have to say about all of this. While you're down there, please like the video if you liked it. Like I said earlier, please consider subscribing to the channel if you like the daily news coverage. Thank you all very much for watching, and of course, as always, stay safe.